Right. Obviously the buildings are they come from the okay. I need to remember the name of the addressing organisation in Australia. But so we buy those in essence. The vegetation comes from land use data. I think I had a reference in the slide actually. It was the Department of Lands, I think it was in that slide. So it's not, the actual raw data isn't, but we generate our own data from it, so that the buffers that you saw, the distance away from the vegetation, obviously that's our own data.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're at a little past time, actually. I would just want to wrap up with one final question for, and I'd like to put this to Berkeley. In what ways is your geocoding better than Google PR Bing or Bing?
Well, I appreciate the question. I thought that might come up today. Our specialty really is around both accuracy and elimination of false positives, and giving our end users the ability to make operational decisions. You know, when Google and Bing Maps and others came out with their global geocoding solutions, which were largely very interactive, we saw very little customer churn or customer loss to these platforms, because they're really using for different things. In terms of, say, a find the nearest application for a retail, you know what, that's really been their typical kind of specialty. We specialize in operational applications where people need confident results and high performance on multiple platforms and settings. So, you know, you're just not going to get that with these online platforms. I respect what they've done, and they've really opened up the market. In fact, it's been a good feeder system for the kinds of high resolution and high quality products that we have.
Terrific. Well, thank you very much. Well, everyone, we'd like to thank you for attending today's webinar. And as a reminder, a copy of today's webinar will be archived, and you will receive an email shortly with a link to view the webinar on demand. And we're also asked that as you leave the webinar, please complete the very brief evaluation survey that will pop up when you exit. And I'd like to thank today's speakers. Thank you, Berkeley and Nigel, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to thank, and I'd also like to thank my colleague Nora Parker at Directions Magazine for all her work behind the scenes, keeping this session running smoothly and getting to all your questions. And so we hope you'll join us for the next Directions Magazine webinar on Thursday, November 10th, as Del Taco